How does Oracle recommend that we perform performance tuning on our Oracle databases? Well, they define performance tuning going down two different paths. One, we have the proactive tuning. Now, proactive is a term that means you're being proactive. That's kind of a circular definition. Let me try that again, right? Proactive means that we're trying to solve problems before they occur. In other words, we're actually spending the time reviewing findings that ADDM gives us. Remember, ADDM is the Automatic Diagnostic Monitor. It's called Automatic Database Diagnostic Monitor, and it's part of the Automatic Workload Repository. We can look at AWR as the engine that gathers statistics and builds these snapshots every hour of our system state. And the ADDM is the engine that takes that gathered data and presents it to us in an easy to comprehend form and looks for problems and will alert us on those problems, okay? So if we're being proactive, we're actually reviewing those findings regularly and implementing the recommendations that that gives us. We'll also look at another component of the Automatic Workload Repository called Active Session History, or ASH. This is real-time session data. Whereas ADDM takes a snapshot every hour by default, ASH provides essentially real-time analytics on a per user or per session basis. So you can look at ADDM to get the bigger picture, and then we turn to ASH Analytics to get really granular and drill right into where we're seeing individual instances of a problem, and then we can take action from there. Now, Oracle Performance Tuning also relies upon alerts. We'll cover that in a separate module in this course. And alerts are cool because they can actually come out and knock on your door, so to speak, or tap you on the shoulder, however you want to look at it, as opposed to the onus being on you to actually log into EM12C and look at the ADDM findings that way. So that's if you're being proactive. Reactive is where you're putting out fires. In other words, problems are already cropping up and we've got to address them. Now, let's look at the facts. Especially if you're in a big shop and you're understaffed, it can be difficult to avoid reactive tuning. It happens. In this case, you can actually run ADDM manually. You can run ASH Analytics interactively and manually to find what are called transient performance issues. In other words, you need to fix a problem right now, and maybe it just started or maybe it's been ongoing, whatever. You can run manual comparisons from the AWR snapshot library to overlay past periods of time so you can see where performance has degraded in certain systems or areas or weight areas over time. And just for the record, stuff that the ADDM analyzes is stuff like your server load, CPU load, memory utilization, disk I/O. Of course, there's the code itself, resource-intensive SQL or PLSQL or Java. If you're doing real application cluster, rack issues, communication issues. What's cool about ADDM is it's so thorough. It can even try to tap into your application and look at application level issues, database configuration, concurrency, contention, pretty darn comprehensive. And that's actually the third type of performance tuning, getting into the code itself and looking for high-load SQL statements and then just tuning the heck out of them. You know, you can make a career out of Oracle performance tuning. There are many people who are, in fact, making very good livings for themselves consulting with businesses doing this very stuff. So if you find that you have an aptitude for it and you have a passion for performance tuning, I strongly encourage you to devote yourself to it full time. The last bullet point is optimizing data access paths. And this is where we look at how Oracle is executing and satisfying queries and seeing where we can make that performance better than it already is.